So, welcome everyone. It's been 2 weeks that I've used the iPhone 14 Pro Max as my daily driver. I was rocking the iPhone 13 Pro Max for the longest time before this, and I'm ready to share my thoughts and opinions. So, what's the difference between iPhone 13 Pro Max and iPhone 14 Pro Max apart from the processors? Well, there's nothing much of a difference, just that the iPhone 14 Pro Max has a dynamic island as a notch, and the iPhone 13 Pro Max doesn't. But apart from that, really, it doesn't have anything noticeable. You wouldn't notice in terms of performance, maybe minor increment, but nothing that's gonna make you want to say like, oh, I need to switch to iPhone 14 Pro Max because my iPhone 13 Pro Max doesn't perform well or something like that. If you already have an iPhone 13 Pro or 13 Pro Max, I wouldn't recommend you go out and buy the iPhone 14 Pro Max unless your carrier plan or something allows you to do that so that you don't lose money, because if you're trying to buy outright by selling your iPhone 13 Pro Max at a lesser price, adding more money to get the iPhone 14 Pro Max, it's not going to be a good decision unless that is something that you're really happy doing. But usage wise, it's good because it is a new device. Obviously you would like it. I really have been trying to see, apart from the dynamic island, what else is there that makes this worth it. But there isn't anything, because like just with the iPhone 14 Pro Max, yes, there is the satellite capability to send out SOS, but how often would you need it? And outside America, it's not even available yet, I would say. So it's not gonna be an upgrade that you want because there is something drastically new. Talking about the dynamic island, when you are in your music app and then you play a music, go to home screen, or say you've connected some Bluetooth headphones or something, dynamic island is gonna be a place where all of those animations and all of those stuff are gonna happen. When you are trying to do Face ID, when you double tap, that's where it's gonna come up, as you can see here in the screen. For example, let me open a music and let me play this. And once the music is played, and you go to the home screen, you can see it in the home screen right there. Depending on the album art, your waveform changes color. And for example, when you're getting a call and you're in the home screen as well, if you're the one speaking, it's gonna appear red. And if it's the other person on the other line speaking, it's gonna appear green. And if both of you are speaking, it's going to be half is going to be red and half is going to be green. If iPhone 13 Pro Max were to have a dynamic island, that would be iPhone 14 Pro Max. That's pretty much it. Yes, the processor is new, but the processor doesn't have drastic improvement that you have to switch. And this in US only comes with eSIM. I'm in Australia, so I do have a SIM tray here. I did switch to eSIM because I wanted to try how different would it be from having a physical SIM card. And I would say in Australia with my carrier, I haven't noticed any issue with eSIM. It feels like it's the same, but I've only been using eSIM for the past 7 days, so I will try it for a month to see if I notice something weird. But so far it has been good. And so far the experience with iPhone 14 Pro Max has been good. Although apart from looking at the front screen where I can see the dynamic island, I can't really tell if it is iPhone 14 Pro Max or 13 Pro Max. Obviously the camera module is bigger, but and there are some camera improvements. Obviously, the main camera is now 48 megapixel, but unless you go to Apple ProRAW and turn the 48 megapixel on, it is going to be binning everything down to 12 megapixel. And there is slight improvement in low light capability. Nothing that you're going to notice instantly and going to be like, wow, I need to switch to the iPhone 14 Pro Max. But this is still a good phone. So if you're someone who is in iPhone 10, iPhone 10s, then yes, consider upgrading to iPhone 14 Pro or 14 Pro Max. That might be worth it. But if you're coming from iPhone 13 Pro or 13 Pro Max, this is not the phone you want to upgrade to. Wait a year and wait for the next generation to come through and then maybe upgrade. It's pretty much iPhone 13 Pro Max with the dynamic island and a newer processor, slightly better camera, and that's pretty much it. So I'll leave it at that. I'll see you in the next one. Until next time, peace.